Good evening, sixth grade art parents. My name is Ivy Leighton, and I am the art teacher here at Thurston. I teach sixth, seventh, and eighth grade art, and I also teach yearbook, which is a seventh and eighth grade class. I say welcome to the process because that is exactly what it is. As you all know, you have middle schoolers. So welcome to art class. A little bit about me. I grew up here in Laguna Beach and went on to the high school. I actually went to Thurston a long time ago, and some of my teachers are amazingly still here and now have become my friends. After high school, I attended Cal State Long Beach and got my BFA in printmaking, a very old art form, but very fun. After I finished my BFA, I went on to get my single subject teaching credential in art. When I was in high school and in college, I began teaching at the Irvine Fine Arts Center, which is a local community center in Irvine. And I taught kids from the ages of 3 to 18 years old. Most of my coworkers really enjoyed working with the little guys, the 3-year-olds. I preferred working with the teens, which is why I chose to work with middle school. I think they're fun, I think they're weird, matches my weird, and I just get along really well with them and feel like I can push them a little bit harder to work a little bit harder, and I get amazing results. So what types of art will we do in this class? Everything kind of starts with line. So we draw in terms of line work. We have certain projects that are truly only line, and then we have some projects that do begin with line and then perhaps you add color later. We do that. We do watercolor painting. We actually are currently working on our watercolor painting project. And for that one, we are recreating the style of stained glass, but using either a creature or a character or an animal, something of that sort. A mixed media is a very common type of project that we do in my class. And that's any kind of an artwork that's made with using 2 or more materials or tools. So that could be that you are doing coloring and painting, or you're using Sharpie and watercolor. Whatever that is, it tends to be mixed media. So you're combining multiple mediums. I'm very excited this year to try out some stop motion with the kiddos. We're going to use an app that I've used in the past and do some amazing stop motion animations. I just love all of that. All the Wes Anderson stop motion is my favorite. So I can't wait to try that out with the kids. Things are going to look a little bit different if and when we come back to the hybrid format. Project-wise, we can do a little bit more if we're back here in person. However, there are safety concerns there, so we'll see what happens. Things might change a little bit depending on how everything goes. I always say that I literally could not do this without school power and PTA. Art is material heavy and it's expensive, and I'm very thankful to be able to be supported by both of these amazing groups. How will you, sorry, I'm realizing my picture is in the way here. How will you find out what we are doing in class? So a couple ways you can do that. You can find out through Canvas. So Canvas is brand new to all of us, and I know that does make it a little bit hard and confusing. However, once you get used to it, I think you'll find it is very user-friendly. If you go into the Canvas for this class, it will be the exploratory class, and then you go to modules. There's a module for each project and for each week. So within those projects, I usually include the slideshow. Same thing for the week. So if your student wanted to go back and look at something or show you something, they can easily find it there. If you are an Instagram user, you can check out Thurston Art Squad. That is where I tend to post most student work. Right now, I haven't really gotten to that quite yet, but I'm definitely jumping in soon. It's going to take a minute to figure out how to change that over to a different format to fit digital learning. Talking to your child. So we say a lot that if you can teach a process, you become better at that process. So the ultimate challenge would be if you could ask your student to teach you how they made their project. That will make them that much stronger as a student and as an artist, and they'll get to teach you how to do something. Ask them questions about their work, talk to them about it. They love to talk about their work, and it's very, very endearing to watch them talk about it. A little bit about my teaching philosophy. In sixth grade especially, I focus mostly on experience and experimenting. I always say the only way to fail in art is to not try at all. So generally, I tell the kids that I'm a bit less focused on that end result product because I would rather them experience and experiment with it. And even if they don't love the way it looks in the end, there's still value to having learned the process itself. I say the struggle is real because it is. I personally feel that it's very important for students to struggle through things a little bit and have to try harder than maybe they ever would. I have students who will be like, oh my gosh, I've been working on this project for like 3 days. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. Some artists work on their projects for 3 years. Can you even imagine? So it's great for them to struggle through it. Sometimes it's not going to come out the way they want. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay for them to make the mistakes. And we talk a lot about that. I demonstrate while I teach a lot of the time. And I love showing them when I make mistakes and maybe how I correct the mistake or how I'm going to run with it later. This top quote here is one of my favorites, talking about helping children through art become more like themselves. I'm a huge proponent of uniqueness and being your own person and not maybe looking or acting like other people. That's totally fine. There's a lot of uniqueness and opportunity in art, and I always want to explore that and push my students to learn to love themselves. So why is art important? It's a valid question. However, I can give you a lot of answers. Most importantly for a middle schooler, I think it is a safe form of self-expression. We know that middle school kiddos at this age, they're really trying to figure out who they are and what they're about, what do they love. It can be a really trying time. It can be very challenging, and art is a really safe place to express whatever those fears, angers, emotions, feelings, we know they have a lot of them, any of the above. They can get that out of their system in art, and it's also very relaxing, and it might end up being the thing they fall back on when they feel extremely stressed. Art helps us to understand history. We can see those historical movements through art history. Obviously, I think it's amazing. It's the best. It's important because it takes a lot of hard work. I love watching kids truly like go nuts on a project and just spend all of this time on it. It's amazing to see that they have that in them because sometimes they don't seem like they do. They're very instant gratification oriented at this age, and it's very cool to watch them get into the nitty gritty. We learn about different time periods and cultures through art. Most importantly, we learn about creative problem solving, which is going to translate to all other classes and practices. On the first day of each class, I always use the quote, "Creativity is the highest form of intelligence." And we talk about all the different jobs and professions that might use creativity that we don't expect to use creativity. And we always end up having amazing conversations around that. So some of the projects that we'll do this year, we will work on our mandalas. They actually already finished their mandalas, which is on the left. Top center is the zine project. That was their first project in which they get to tell about themselves and what they love, and I get to know them a bit better. This last year through distance learning, I started using a project where they are supposed to scavenger hunt around the house and find the colors of the color wheel and find a grayscale, a gradient. We also do our cityscape drawing. That's one of my favorite assignments. I feel like we always see really cool things come out of that project. Again, more found object color scales. We have a delicious looking mandala down there, super fun. Hedgehog that shows us how you can draw using different materials that you have found around your house. And we have our watercolor stained glass up in the upper right-hand corner, which is the project we're working on right now. So please let me know if you have any questions. Sorry, that just went really fast, but we only have 10 minutes. So please email me if you have any questions. My name again is Ivy Leighton, and I'm happy to be your child's art teacher. This is a great group, and I have really loved getting to know each and every one of them. It's a small group, which gives us a really unique opportunity to be able to truly get to know each other. I hope you have a great night. Talk to you soon.